Hey everybody, Melissa Scholar with Real Nutritious Living here with you today, and I am super pumped to be here because I get to show you the new Beautycounter anti-aging line called Countertime. The goal behind this line was sort of to help you age well. They wanted to come up with a very hard-hitting anti-aging line that was going to strengthen and improve our skin. Our skin is a barrier, so the function of this barrier of our largest organ is really, really important. They wanted something that was going to protect your wonderful, beautiful, precious, one and only skin from environmental stressors and, of course, visibly reduce fine lines and wrinkles. Now, when you do a simple search in any browser for anti-aging skincare, what is going to come up? Retinol, right? So many of us, if we're over 30, we've sort of been told you have to use retinol if you want the anti-aging benefits. But here's sort of the issue with retinol. If you look on the Environmental Working Group, or EWG, it's this fantastic website that will talk to you, will kind of teach you safety of ingredients, different products. So you can type retinol in a search bar and it's going to come up as a 9 red. Well, what does that mean? So at the Environmental Working Group, it's sort of a green light, yellow light, red light system. So green is a go, yellow is proceed with caution, you might not want to go through that yellow light, and then red is definitely a no-no. So retinol is really, really linked to skin irritation. It's very problematic when used with, you can't have any sun exposure if you're using retinol on your skin. Retinol is this ingredient that's been banned from both Canada and the European Union. So they both of these regions say this ingredient is absolutely not allowed in skincare. Because it's sort of a potential risk for human health is what they've sort of decided. So they say the risk is not worth the benefit. Retinol sort of works by turning over our skin. You've heard the term possibly cell turnover when you've been looking at skincare before, skincare ingredients, and you'll even see that as it's just a sort of popular buzzword. Now, cell turnover is great when we're talking about skin, but what happens is retinol sort of turns over our cells so fast that it sort of becomes problematic. That's where they're thinking the risk is involved. It just sort of goes against our biology. So when Beautycounters sort of said, let's come up with this amazing anti-aging line, they also said we have to come up with something that works as well as, if not better than retinol. So they took them over 3 years to formulate what's called a Retinatural complex. This complex is a mix of Beautycounters, which is a plant from India. And what's really super cool about this plant and anti-aging is clinical studies have actually shown Beautycounters works better than retinol. And they've paired that Beautycounters with Swiss alpine rose. So this is a rose that grows in the highest altitudes of the Swiss Alps. And it's sort of just a powerhouse when it comes to preventing environmental stressors, but maintaining sort of that the hydration integrity that our skin needs. So it's just this powerhouse complex. Now, one thing that got me really, really excited about the Countertime line, which I'm about to show you, we're going to unbox it together here, is that every single ingredient in the line contains this Retinatural complex, which is really exciting because much of the time when you buy a skincare line, 1 or 2 of the products might have retinol, but usually they all don't. So this means just every single product. Of course, you always want to be using like regimens and skincare collections. You want to use the whole regimen together because products are designed to synergistically work together so that it's kind of like you get the best bang for your buck, but when you pick and choose from all kinds of different skincare lines, you're probably not going to get the results. So I love the fact that each and every one of these products has the Retinatural in it. So let's go ahead and just unbox some of these products. I've got my Beautycounter box and I went ahead and kind of taped it open. You'll see beauty should be good for you. And let's just start with the cleanser here, which I can't tell which one this is. Let's see. Here we go. We've got our Countertime Lipid Defense Cleansing Oil. I'm going to turn that light a little bit. It's going to get a little darker, but I want to make sure that you guys can see. So you guys, this box, these are huge, which is wonderful, right? That's what we all want. When we're going to invest, we don't want to have to run back out to the store and get more. We want nice big fills, right? So this is gorgeous. This is glass. which is wonderful. They're, you know, they decided this was the most sustainable way to package these, and it's so nice because we can recycle these too. So if you're not familiar with oil cleansing, this is quite similar to that. You're just going to take 1 squirt of the oil. This is probably the one that I'm not going to show you here because we're not in the bathroom. And then say I've got quite like, you know, mascara and that kind of thing. I'll probably use 2 squirts tonight, but you're just going to do a couple squirts in your hands, and this is all on a dry face. So you're just going to rub it into your skin, rub it, get gently, very, very gently. We always want to think very, very gentle with our skin, but this is actually going to, you know, remove all impurities. So this is kind of a Chinese skincare. They've kind of pulled from Chinese skincare here, which they've been so far advanced from us in skincare for a very, very long time. But so you're going to start by rubbing this on dry skin, right? And then you're going to take a little water and you're going to continue rubbing and make a nice milk, and then give your skin a couple splashes of water. And then what I like to do is get a Norwex cloth really, really wet and finish kind of gently removing the rest. And your skin will just feel absolutely so soft when you're done. It's not going to feel oily. There shouldn't be a residue or anything like that. But this this beautiful oil cleanser, it uses vitamin E and some fatty acids in addition to that fantastic retinol complex to sort of work on anti-aging your skin. So that is our first step. Our next step is the Countertime Mineral Boost Hydrating Essence. So this is our prep step. Now, most of the time in a prep step, we're looking at a toner, right? Like a more traditional toner. And the problem, especially if you have dry skin, is toners can really, you know, when you're using witch hazel and things like that, those can really strip our skin and just make it feel kind of tight and dry. And even with oily skin, you actually don't want your skin to be tight and dry because it's going to stimulate overproduction of oil. So check out this essence, you guys. This is, again, look how big. I mean, this is just a huge, huge pour. And this is sort of a mix of course, the Retinatural complex. It's got the fermented sugars. It's got mineral-rich seawater. And so you've got your nice, clean skin, right? And let's just kind of, this smells amazing, right? So I'm just gonna, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I just put like a little drop in my hand. And what you're gonna do, you're going to actually just kind of take this and press this into the skin. And this is this was kind of one of those ingredients that I went, whoa, what is this? It felt so good to be putting something in my skin rather than that kind of tight toner type of feel that we normally get after cleansing. So that's just going to kind of balance out the pH and say, okay, we're ready for more. Of course, it's got the great, Retinatural complex and all that in. So the next thing we have here is our Countertime Tri-Peptide Radiance Serum. So this is our treatment step, and our treatment step is usually, it usually ends up being kind of the most bang for your buck type of step. I will say if you have incredibly sensitive skin, you may want to start with the cleanser and the essence and just kind of use that for a little while, and then add the moisturizer, and then come back and add this. Not to say this is problematic. My skin is incredibly sensitive, and this line has made my skin feel absolutely fantastic. But so you can see this one's, you know, not as huge as the other ones, but you just need, I mean, this right here is almost too much. One tiny little squirt, and you're just going to kind of rub in those sort of upward motions. And I'm not obviously I have some makeup on here and that kind of thing, but I'm going to pat it into my skin while we're here. And also, anything you use on your neck, you also want to use on your neck. Anything you use on your face, you do want to kind of use on your, your décolleté and your neck. And I always rub the excess on the back of my hands because I want to get every little bit of that anti-aging that I can. And hands, face, neck, and chest are what just seems to age first. So peptides. Peptides are this sort of cool kid on the block. And peptides are actually incredibly difficult to find in the safe space. So this Tetra peptide serum, right? What are these peptides doing? Once we I got a little excited putting it on there, putting the product on and showing you, but these peptides, so what happens is after the age of 30, our collagen production goes down. Now, collagen is a pretty cool buzzword these days. We're hearing lots and lots about collagen, but collagen is sort of what keeps our skin thick. Like I was telling you before, we don't want to thin it out with things like retinol, and it keeps it nice and supple. So what these peptides do is as we lose collagen production, they send a signal to our skin, actually saying, hey, make more collagen, which is what we want, right? It's perfect for anti-aging. So it's really cool that they came out with a safe way to do this, because I've talked to several estheticians since this line came out, and across the board they all said we never thought peptides would be in this safe space. So that's something else that, aside from just coming up with this Retinatural complex, the fact that we have these peptides too is just, I mean, this line is just so incredible, and the science behind it, it's no wonder it took 3 years to come out. Now, next we have our day cream. So this is called an antioxidant soft cream. And really, we really do want to be using a separate day and night cream. And the reason being is day creams are this is just as a whole. And so of course it's going to be the case with this soft cream. Day creams prevent from environmental stressors, which is what we need during the day when we are sitting in front of our computers, getting blue light. That affects our skin when we're out in the sun, all of the different elements. So we want that protection. And then with this soft cream, it's working on that lipid barrier. So all of these products have things that are just healing and nourishing our skin, keeping the hydration nice and balanced as we go. So let's show you guys this one. Let's see. It's, I do like how soft and light this is. If you're the kind of person that you really don't want anything super heavy during the day, I really think you'll really enjoy this cream. Now, I will say my skin is pretty dry, and I tend to use a couple squirts of this one. For a while, I only had the night cream, which I'll show you in a minute. I was using that day and night, and I absolutely loved that. And when I kind of did my homework on this line, when I kind of checked out what Beautycounter had to say about it, they did say if you have incredibly dry skin, you might consider using the night cream twice a day. So just something to think about, but I do like the day cream. I'm gonna give it a shot as is, but what I usually do is I put one squirt, I let that absorb, and then I put another squirt and let that completely absorb again. If you have oily or more combination skin, you'll probably only want to use just one squirt of the day cream. But I do like, the other thing that's sort of interesting, and it's, I don't know why, but with this line, everything sort of absorbs into your skin really nice and quick. There's no residues, which I love that. I love that I'm not waiting for anything to soak in and absorb. Now, next we have the Beautycounter Countertime Supreme Tetrapeptide. Again, so we got the Retinatural complex, and we have those tetrapeptides, which I told you are going to tell our body to make more collagen, which is a good thing. So this is a pretty darn good size in itself too. You can see it, like, ooh, that's kind of funny. It's about, you know, as big as the palm of my hand. The consistency of this one is really cool. It's sort of like, can you guys see that? It's almost like whipped cream. It's just like so luxurious and thick. I mean, it's just, it's wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. And with all of these products, I've just been sort of pressing them into my skin, and then I just sort of rub upwards, right? So since we're working on gravity, which I really shouldn't have just touched my eyes right there. We only want to put eye cream around our eyes. But this is just such a luxurious cream. And again, those tetrapeptides are going to really work on elasticity and skin firmness. I noticed the first time I used this line, my skin just felt, the hydration, it just felt so balanced. It didn't feel oily, it didn't feel dry, it just felt absolutely fantastic, which for someone like me with dry skin that can be sensitive, it's just such a game changer. And then last but not least in this line, we have the eye cream. And I was really blown away by how big this eye cream is. Like, this is a good sized eye cream. Again, it's all in the glass packaging. I was excited for let's see, let's just put a little on my finger. The color is a little different. It's a little more like off-white on this one. And when you're putting on an eye cream, you always want to use your ring fingers and you just pat. So we don't want to put anything else in our eye area, so from the orbital bone up, except for our eye cream, because the skin is thinner there and we don't want to overload it with different products. So I'm loving this eye cream. It's great for brightening, which anybody with a child or a job or just doing life basically needs, and it's really working on crow's feet. It uses this Persian silk tree ingredient. I don't know a ton about it, but that's what sort of is mixed with the Retinatural complex to give us the most bang for our buck. So that is it. As far as showing you the products, they're just so beautiful. They're so luxurious. And you know, my experience, like I said, the first time I used it, I just noticed that my skin it just felt so level and good, followed by the fact that it was glowing the next morning. And I rarely use something that I notice an overnight difference with. And then, of course, I've only been using this line about a month. I've been getting compliments on my skin. I do think it's more glowing, but you know, for those hard-hitting anti-aging results, that can take a little bit more time. They say about 10 weeks. So I'm really, really optimistic because I love how my skin is feeling. I love the science behind this line. I think you're absolutely going to love this if you give this a try. So if you have any questions at all, just leave them below and I'll be happy to answer them. But I hope you enjoyed this sort of review and unboxing of the new Beautycounter Countertime line. Have a great day, guys. Bye.